Okay, so I've gotten your point clearly. I've gotten your point clearly. But is it possible for a Christian to fast? Like it should be a daily life.
Daily life.
Yes, like after I've accepted sexual soul, yeah. Then I started fasting.
Yes, it is very possible. As I already said, it's a necessity. It's something you must consistently do.
Is it
Let's take
from your discussion?
mhm.
You were giving some particular examples. You were like married couples like this, they can decide not to engage in sexual activities. It's them that's fasting. Somebody not to leave their phone down, and then it's them as fasting. I don't really get that point because what I've been taught is actually fasting deterrent for food. First, that is one first basic I know that deterrent for food, and then any other thing that hinders you from what focusing or concentrating on God and give your full time to God. So that
So
so are
in
you
the
trying to
concept
tell me
of
that
that,
I can be eating and we're calling it fasting?
no, I'm not saying that. So in
Uh-huh.
the concept of that, we say food in the sense that food is mostly taking our time from God. We don't get much time to focus on Him. So assuming you are married, then sex is taking your time from God. When the time you're supposed to wake up and pray, you're not praying.
Okay, well,
Are you
we are not
getting it?
married people, so how we
So
going
that is why I don't want to actually bring it from
ah,
that context.
yeah.
Are you getting it? Yes. So that is my view on what you just said.
Okay, okay. I'm actually asking this question based on something I read in Isaiah chapter 58. When you read from verse 4, 5, 6 down, the Lord was speaking to Isaiah to talk to the Israelites. He was asking him to ask them that the fasting they have been doing, they say they fasted and he has not answered them. They say they prayed and he has not replied. Why is he doing that? It's because usually they'll go and engage in their sinful activities or the things that satisfy their pleasures. And then one day they'll pick one day and come and then they'll wear sackcloth and then cover themselves in ashes and say that they are fasting. So when the Lord was talking, he asked them that is that the fast that he wants? But when we look at this current Christian lifestyle, or even from the delivery you are giving me, it looks something like that.
Yeah.
That it can be a one day show that I'll start and say, okay, today I'm fasting. Then I'll stop from eating, put my phone down, stop social media, and then have full time for God. But when you look at Isaiah 58, he was questioning them about that thing. So does that mean that this fasting we are doing has a fault or a question mark as Christians?
Mm.
Or you would like us to read the Isaiah 58
Yes,
and
let's
let's
read
see
it.
the
And then I
concept?
think also let's not because
The way he's
the
not
way
he's
yeah,
descending
I
he's
just love
descending
it.
from the
I
spirit.
just yeah.
So let me take it from verse 3.
Okay.
Okay, let me take from verse 2. He said, yet they seek me daily. Oh no, let me just take verse 1. Shout aloud, do not spare, lift up your voice like a trumpet and declare to my people their transgression and to the house of Jacob their sins. I'm reading Isaiah 58. Verse 2, it says, yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways, as if it were a nation that acts in righteousness and has not forsaken the ordinance of their God. They ask me for just decisions. They take delight in approaching God. Why have we fasted? They say, and you have not seen it. Why have we afflicted our soul and you have paid no attention? Look, on your day of fasting, you find pleasure and exploit all your laborers. He was telling them what they do
What
during
they
their
do,
fast.
yes, exactly.
And verse 4 says, look, you fast for strife and debate and to strike with a fist of wickedness. You do not fast as you do today to make your voice heard on high. He says, is this the kind of fast I have chosen? Merely a day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head like a bulrush and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? He says, will you call this a fast and an acceptable day to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I have chosen? Then he gave explanation of the kind of fast he's talking about. He says to loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke. I think later we'll read the rest, but we can't read the whole of the Isaiah 58. But when you look at the sentence, when you later read subsequently, you realize that the fasting that the Lord was telling Isaiah to tell his people should be a fasting of lifestyle, in the sense that your lifestyle should be a fast. The lifestyle should be um, like concentrated on God. When you look at this physically, he's talking about love. But when he's talking about wickedness, to let laborers go, to do this, to do this, to do this, we realize that he was talking about the lifestyle as a Christian. That's why I was asking that can a Christian start fasting just from the moment I say Jesus Christ and then the person gets it and will term it as fast. Because over here I didn't see God telling them that they should not eat. But he was saying that their lifestyle should be holy or a lifestyle that depicts his core or his decisions for them. That's what I'm asking. So can I fast and eat?
How will you fast? You are trying to get closer to God.
Uh-huh.
You're trying to get deeper intimacy with Him. And then one thing that will restrain you mostly is the flesh.
Mm.
So in fasting, it's like you're taming down the flesh and raising your spirit. Is that the understanding of it?
So
Yeah.
literally me as when I'm fasting I should not eat.
It depends on the angle you're coming from talking about fasting. That's how it
Okay,
is.
so
Fast,
let's generally base what is fasting? What is fasting? You give the definition of
yes, we
fasting.
already did.
But let's look at the activities that goes into fasting. Because I know that fasting, although is drawing us closer to God, to encounter God, to maybe we fast. People have lots of reasons why
Yeah.
they fast. But what actually goes into fasting? Because I know it's a holistic activity. If we use the term ritual, it can be tagged by some people as a but it's a holistic activity that we engage in. So what actually are the methods or the steps that are taken that shows that yes, this is called fasting?
To answer that question, coming from the very point you ended the question that what steps, what directions. Fasting is not something that we have a manual for. That will tell you step one, this, step two, this. First of all, we have to understand that you wanting to fast is a personal decision. Exactly. And one thing most people say is that before you fast, you have to seek the approval of God. Whether this fast you should go on it or not. Okay.
Really?
Yes,
Yes,
that's
that's
one
seek
thing.
approval from God.
Yes. So with that, it's not everybody that can.
But is it biblical? Is it biblical? Seeking approval from God before fasting, is it biblical?
Oh, this one I may not be able to put it out to you, but there are some times that you go on a fast on an issue that God doesn't really want you to go fast on. Let's say, for example, something that God has already answered or not in there, or you are seeking God. Let's say you are seeking God. One of the reasons why we fast is when we are coming to seek God. We want to meet Him at the point that He is, and we don't want to do any fleshly desire or any fleshly points of our own. So that's when we desire to stay away from food or anything that is a pleasure or physical satisfaction to you. Just want to be satisfied with the presence of God. That's when you go there. Let's say you go for prayer, you don't want to be feeling weak with your food or all this stuff. That's when you go with but there are some kind of fasting that we undertake that if you don't seek the approval of God before you go, you even end up losing your faith as a Christian. Let's say
Actually, no,
I heard somebody.
before.
Let me tell you. I heard, let's say, you just heard that a pastor went and fasted for 5 years, or let's say 7 years.
Yesterday I was
A very
hearing that
long, a very long
one of the man of God I followed, he said he fasted for 5 years
Yes.
daily. I was like, hey,
That the kind of fasting
Charlie.
that if you want to embark on, you shouldn't just see somebody to these are kinds of fasting that it should be something that God has laid on or
Yeah, so
have
there's
that
difference between God rather laying it on you, you asking for permission. Because I don't think you go ask permission from God to fast and you say no.
so
That.
that means
Yeah.
sometimes I'm sure it's your hunger. Sometimes yeah, it should be because of your personal hunger that you want to do that as a consideration. That's why I say there's no step because all of us our consideration cannot be seen from God.
Yes,
Somebody
exactly.
can say that oh I will not sleep at this time of the day just to reach God. Somebody can say I will not eat at this time my birthday I will not eat this so
Like also was them.
yeah.
Although we are fasting, I mean,
I'm fasting
my
now.
birthday is fasting, Charlie. I can't do that. My birthday with cake, but
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's how it depends.
Ajay.
So to begin my fresh year, I need to begin it in the footprint of Yeshua. So I just have to.
Was me my birthday pan. Hey, somebody will buy you cake. You be like I'm fasting. Wow.
I'm actually having gifts,
Charlie.
and I just have to.
Serious talk.
What's up?
This is
You
no touch
have
out.
something that was no, that's why I have a fridge. I can preserve it for the next time. That's one thing to learn from that is when you are coming to fast, make sure you don't fast in an environment that is very good. Let's say you know that there is
Oh,
You know, the environment, one thing that is says the patient always stay with the environment you can say. So if you know you are fasting, you shouldn't be in that environment because no matter what, you know, you can get to it. So you know that today is your birthday, the sense of the cake may be different in
oh, birthday cake.
yes.
Why is it basing on my
Birthday,
birthday?
hey, una dey count for now.
Let's allow that to
That is,
let's talk to
viewers, let's wish Prosper a happy birthday in the viewers.
Thank you, thank you.
Like and comment.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
very good. So
But you've made a lot of lessons, a lot of lessons. But I want to ask, especially based on this environment thing you're talking about. So supposing like now we are youths, and then most of us are in school, we are students in school, and then sometimes some of them will go to lectures. You see, sometimes I've come to realize that when I'm fasting, and then maybe I'm doing a fast where you don't engage in food, you don't eat food at all. I realize that sometimes the body is not that strong. I realize in case as a student, you have to go to class, go and sit for some like number of hours listening to a lecture, and then just maybe walking on campus. You know, every kind of lifestyle is moving on campus. Your eyes will see a lot of things before you even get back to your
When it's
hostel.
giving us strength.
You pass through canteen and stuff and the food and stuff. So this kind of situation, you are not able to settle unless you say that you stop the academics.
That's
And,
our test.
but it's not possible. So how do you handle that kind of fast? Does it mean that every day in your fasting you are consecration? Every day you're fasting you are consecration. How do you handle such a fast?
this kind of fast, personally, how I deal with it is when we are doing this long fastings and then we have to go for lectures. Personally, what I do is I make sure this kind of fastings are not the ones that will take water. So the times that I take water is when I'm going to sit in class, so that at least I
You
can
have
sit
something
and
here.
eat. And then with the temptation, see the fasting, this fasting thing, we cannot do it without prayer. That's one thing. So you must be able to do that as you are working. Sometimes the music you are listening to and all those stuff as you are working, even you may see it, but you will not see it the second time. So one thing I always do, sometimes when we're in the class and the class I'm so funny, and then I see myself passing to this moment, and I realize that I don't want to so that's when I go to the washroom. And some 2 minutes I will pray sometimes when I come and I know yes.
Very bad.
The man is
Yeah,
responsible.
so it's just personal to me. So yeah, just try and then find something that keeps you closer to God and then bring your fast, engage yourself in that thing as you are also doing your academics.
So how are you doing yours? You that is your birthday, people are wishing you. I'm sure your girlfriend has sent you some sweet text and your mind has. How are you doing yours? How are you managing?
Then some
Yeah.
other stuff.
How are you managing?
Alright, so you see, based on the question you asked, okay, I actually follow some guidelines when on campus and I'm doing fasting. It's different from when I'm home. And mostly, thanks to my spiritual father, he helped me out of this because I actually remember when I started fasting, I developed a sickness. So because of that, I had to stop. Then go back to my dad and he taught me more. So some of the guidelines he gave me was stay hydrated when fasting. When you're fasting, always drink a lot of water. Since you are going to be working, you're not in the house whereby you stay in your room, lock yourself and pray throughout. You're going to be walking all around. So always be hydrated. Now the second one is you mentioned being in the mood of worship or an atmosphere of worship. So always be in the atmosphere of worship. Either be playing a song, be listening to a message, or anything that will